afternoon, South Africa. Welcome to Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3. Before we get started on the show today, we just want to send our heartfelt condolences to the friends, family and fans of Rhythm City star Dumi Masiela, who tragically died last night during a hijacking. He was also a professional soccer player, and his news has sent shockwaves through both the sports and the television world. May he rest in peace. But it's another fashion and beauty-fueled Thursday on Afternoon Express. So today we feature one of South Africa's longest-standing and best-loved streetwear brands. It's Magents, and we'll be chatting to the founders to hear how they've kept alive all through the years. Plus, we chat to a woman from Khayelitsha who has started her own Rastafarian lifestyle brand, and we head to the Joburg Theatre to check out a new production that combines three very different schools of dance. Stay tuned for that too. So much more coming up as well, but on social media, we love it when you interact with us. Send us your questions and your comments. Today we're asking you, has local fashion taken the front seat in recent years, and what are your thoughts on that? Tweet us at Afternoon Chat or leave your thoughts on our Facebook page.
Well, good afternoon, South Africa, as we celebrate all things art and culture in our country. Today's an interesting day for us on the show because you would have seen we're kind of changing our settings. We really are celebrating the diversity of subcultures in South Africa today, and one of these is the very stigmatized culture of graffiti. So it's usually associated with vandalism, but art form can be incredibly powerful as a means of expression, especially with and amongst the youth, like myself. I'm joined now by artist Juliet White, who spends more of her time these days working with stencils and illustrations, but still has a deep passion for street art, and she's taken to our walls like a fish takes to water. Welcome to our loft. It's good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
You come here for 5 minutes and you're taking over, making the artwork your own. I mean, how did you come into learning to fall in love with street art and particularly graffiti?
Oh, wow. You know, my background is in fine art. I studied printmaking, and it just came naturally. A lot of my friends were already into the culture, and it was so infectious, and it's so beautiful to look at. I couldn't help myself. When I had the opportunity to first try it out, I had to do it.
Yeah. A lot of kids who come through sort of art schools at university are always wanting to go become fine artists, or they become the crazy weird kids that sit in the corner and create cool sculptures, or perhaps they go into furniture design, etc.
Absolutely.
I mean, you left that degree and you wanted to go, I'm sure, go and find more of yourself, and you ended up in Japan. I mean, what did that experience teach you?
That was incredible. I really went to experience a culture in a place that was so completely different from myself. And you're right, you do go on through those experiences in order to find yourself. And really what I found was an absolute and utter respect for your environment, attention to detail, and respect for people. And that is the ultimate, the entire feeling of the Japanese culture. Everything that you look at is beautifully done, from the manhole covers in the street to the food you eat. And that's something that really affected me walking around the cities, was just how much beauty there was everywhere. And when I came back to Johannesburg, which is where I was living at the time, I couldn't help but seeing these little flashes of color and characters and beautiful murals that just started appearing everywhere. And that same attention to detail and beauty that I found so appealing in Japan somehow filtered in.
I find this so interesting because you went to go to Japan to learn all about that attention to detail, the love for people, and you're talking about precision, and then street art almost seems like the opposite of that. I mean, a lot of people see it as vandalism, and I find it so interesting that today is all about celebrating subcultures and arts. And today was the first time I've ever got a tattoo in my life, so excuse all the plaster sores that I've got on my hands. Looks like I've got like sticky stuff on my hands. And what's so interesting is everyone would say that tattoos, for instance, are damaging one's body. Like they would say perhaps graffiti is damaging walls and property. What are your thoughts around that?
No, absolutely. You know, my parents' generation see tattoos as vandalism to your body. Why would you damage something that's already perfect?
Exactly.
But, you know, for us, it's a means to express yourself. I believe that every single human being is inherently creative by virtue of the fact that we've got a sense of style, a choice in tattoos. You can look at a wall and say, oh, I really like that, or that's not for me. That's your creativity coming out. And how we choose to express that through our clothes, our fashion, our design, our tattoos, our piercings, our makeup, our hair color. You know, it's very important to giving yourself a voice.
Totally.
And I think what's important is that you are genuine about what you want. And if you are going to get a tattoo, it's got to mean something to you,
absolutely.
Because you're going to carry that right throughout your life.
Well, this is going to carry on for a while on our show, talking about creating through our lives. Hopefully this will be a mural that we can stay on the walls for a while. I mean, what are you trying to create here, and what are we going to be able to see as the final product?
All right, well, this is This is the beginning of the mural. It doesn't look like much now, but you will see as it progresses and as we start working on it. It's quite a fast process. I do use stencils in the way that I work. It's a lot quicker. A lot of the hard work is done beforehand. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build up a series of layers in color to create an image.
What is that image going to look like? Is it going to be a field of puppies? Are we going to be very excited?
It's absolutely a field of puppies. I really believe in painting things that make you happy, and for me it's dogs. This is in fact a dog called Digit, a friend of mine, Joe, who runs Past Experiences City Walks in Joburg. It's her dog, and she's really been a wonderful support to graffiti and the culture and just getting people interested and educating them about it, so it doesn't just have a stigma to it.
There you go. And there's the meaning behind this one for you. We're speaking about the meaning behind everything. So I can't wait to see the end of this mural. You can get going with carrying on with this process. It looks very intricate and exciting. Coming up after the break, we're going to be visiting the Joburg Theatre to see what happens when you combine street culture with something like ballet, right? And it's the next installment of our Dr. Nushka Reddy series as well. It's all about anti-aging. Don't forget to share all your thoughts with us on social media. We're hashtag Afternoon Express across all platforms. Let's spam Twitter today. Let's get Twitter trending today. Let's go into Facebook, Instagram, whatever you need to do. Go and express yourself on all of our social media platforms. We'd love, love, love to hear from you. We'll be right back after these while she gets going.
Dermikelp for itchy, irritated skin and scalp conditions, including eczema.
Hey, it's so good to have you back with us on Afternoon Express on this Thursday afternoon. We're live on SABC3. We're taking all your comments on social media. We're celebrating the arts and creativity. And there's a poll currently running on Twitter where we're asking you about the sort of local scene. I mean, do you think it's sitting at the front seat at the moment, or do we have a lot more work to go? Go and vote in our poll. We'd love for you to be as honest as you can with us. Hashtag Afternoon Express. Now, we're always on the lookout for a great way to spend an evening. And something that recently caught our attention is a massive collaborative production happening at the Johannesburg Theatre. Imagine combining like sort of hip-hop with some contemporary, I don't even know how to do contemporary, a little bit of ballet. To check it out, here's some more details. We always start Afternoon Express by reminding you to express yourself. And one way to do that is through dance. Joburg Theatre has got a brand new dance production called Big City, Big Dreams, and we're giving you a behind-the-scenes look into what it takes to produce this world-class production. So Fiona, how did you manage to bring about your big dream in a big city together?
Well, Joburg Ballet approached me and said they had this idea. There was a collaboration had been in the air between Vuyani and moving into dance. And they asked me if I could come up with a concept or with a story. And so I thought, what is common to all three of them? And they all live in Johannesburg. They're based in Johannesburg. That's their home. But they all have very, very different identities. So I wanted to find a story that could embrace all those identities. And so it's really a simple love story set against an urban, backdrop.
What I love about it is that it's so uniquely South African. You've made it feel so much like home.
Well, I think, and I look at Johannesburg skyline. That skyline has changed many, many times. And for me, that skyline holds danger, romance, possibility. And so that's what I wanted to start the play with against the landscape or the backdrop of Johannesburg. And to incorporate Johannesburg characters, to incorporate what it is to be a Joburger, as opposed to be just a South African or as opposed to being a citizen of the world.
Every piece of art should leave people feeling something. What are you hoping that your audiences will take from coming to watch Big City, Big Dreams?
I think what has emerged and has been the most successful for me is that the dancers in all the companies have really stretched themselves. They've all been asked to do things they don't readily do, and they've all embraced it. And they've become so close. Watching a rehearsal the other day, they were cheering the other companies. They've become very, very close. And I think that in itself, that collaboration between people is wonderful.
A production of this magnitude required the services of one of South Africa's top choreographers, and who better than Lwam Gxalaba, whose career has skyrocketed since she won season 2 of So You Think You Can Dance South Africa.
Lulu, the choreography in this production is absolutely mesmerizing. Well done.
Thank you, Dan.
Tell me how this vision came about.
When I was told that the three companies wanted to mesh to do this one big production, the first time was really exciting for me. But then later on, I realized that what have I gotten myself into, such a big production with so many dancers. And also it has never been done before, the three companies coming together to do one holistic production. It has never been done before.
Sure, I cannot even begin to understand what it's like to coordinate those 3 different dance styles on one production. It must have been quite a challenge.
Having like plus minus 30 different personalities of dancers working together, trying to put one thing together, that was a bit challenging. But what really excited me about this production was the fact that how it came about, how we started merging together, and how we created those small relationships, making sure that I actually understand an individual more than being here at work, but also personally, so I had to invest time in each and every individual, which really takes time, but it was worth it at the end.
From contemporary and modern street dance to classical ballet, the production pushes each performer to their limits, requiring them to learn completely new styles of dance.
They say if you can't beat them, join them. How did I do? Lovely?
So beautiful.
Yeah. Let's leave it to the talent. You guys were absolutely amazing tonight, and audiences are thriving on coming to see you guys perform. Tell us about your journeys of getting to this point.
Sure, it's been quite a rough journey, I think. In terms of collaborating to other dance companies, it's been quite challenging at times, but overall, just an amazing experience.
If anybody wants to grow in their craft and be a better version of themselves, they're going to have to try new things in order to challenge themselves. I mean, what was it like for you two having to transition between different dance styles continuously?
For me, I've never done anything other than ballet, so it was quite, challenging to we're so placed in ballet, and then you have to get down and in it, and it was just, but interesting for me, just to see how they work, and it's completely different technique, different strength.
It's something new, right? Yeah, and you feel a lot of pressure because is different style what you normally do.
Different.
It's really different. And you do, of course, ballet, but you do another style, and I think this is really, really
adapting
challenging.
to that, you know, every day from ballet, and then the next scene straight into a contemporary piece, and then you street dance, and then, you know, just to...
It's just amazing. No?
Yeah.
Right, Ron, I think you like a challenge. Are you feeling strong?
Oh, now I find this strong.
Okay, come. I want to try something. I want to jump, you're going to catch me, and then I'm going to do the whole
Maybe,
thing.
okay.
I'm not strong, I'm not
No,
good
just
at this.
pull me here.
It's a good challenge. What must I do?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
You see, I need a lot of practice on these things. These guys will do their things on stage. Megan, thank you, and Ron, thank you so much for a beautiful production.
Big City, Big Dreams only runs at the Joburg Theatre until Sunday, the 6th of August. So make sure you book your tickets to experience this one-of-a-kind fusion of South African dance and culture.
So we've learned here today that big dreams can take you anywhere. All you need to do is express yourself, and who knows where you could end up.
That show looks truly amazing. Hope you get to see it. Now, we all like to look good, a universal truth, but easier said than done. Aesthetics wonder Dr. Anushka Reddy highlights the benefits that Botox offers for both cosmetic and medical use. Take note as your beauty guide continues.
With the influx of new skincare procedures, treatments and products that has hit the market, one has truly lasted the test of time. Botulinum toxin, commonly known as Botox, is a wrinkle-relaxing treatment which can dramatically soften facial expression lines, frown lines, as well as crow's feet. It is a non-invasive treatment, leaving you with no scars or any downtime. Having performed over 10,000 treatments, Dr. Anushka Reddy has the expertise to tailor your treatment to ensure that you still look like you.
I'm Sasha. I'm getting a bit of Botox today, right here between my eyebrows and on my forehead, because I really feel that frowning is not the best look to have on anyone, and prevention is the best cure.
The treatment we're going to be doing on Sasha today involves the use of botulinum toxin, commonly known as Botox, and made by a company called Allergan. And essentially, I'm going to be using a Botox, injecting it into muscles, just to relax those muscles and get rid of the wrinkles.
Because I'm on the go all the time, I want something quick and effortless.
These treatments are quite popular because they can easily be done within a half an hour. And I'm seeing a huge surge in the number of young people coming for these treatments. I would say nowadays it's all about prevention. And because these are affordable treatments, we're seeing more and more people come through our doors. We're going to be using toxin on your face today. I hope that doesn't scare you.
No.
Great stuff.
I haven't had a procedure like this before. I am a little bit nervous, but I believe I'm in good hands.
Let's get started. I use a needle called the invisible needle, with good reason. You actually don't feel it. As doctors, we want to heal, and therefore we will only use safe products, and Botox is very much one of them, and we use it every day in my practice.
So I'm hoping that the treatment today will give me that youthful uplift that I need.
Botox is unfortunately not permanent. The results usually take 7 to 10 days to take effect, and they last for 3 to 4 months. There you go. And that's the Botox done.
That was it?
That was it.
Wow.
Now what I need to emphasize to you, because it is a medical product, there are certain side effects obviously that we want to avoid. Specifically, I don't want Botox to go into muscles it shouldn't go into. So I think the most important thing for me is just not to rub the areas that we've injected Botox into. We give Botox a few hours to be absorbed into the muscle. Although I've mentioned them to you, there are just a few other pointers that I want you to also be aware of. And just follow them, and I'm sure we're going to have a very good outcome in a few days' time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My suggestion is that you should really consider Botox when you start seeing expression lines on your face.
That went amazingly well. I was done in a half an hour, and I can still have my lunch. And the funny thing is, I'm quite squeamish about needles, but I barely felt that magic needle, and I'll definitely be doing this again.
So interesting to hear her say that so many young people are still doing this, because it's something that I've realized it's not as like people always have these stigmas around, oh, it's only for people who are older. But what I love about doing Botox is that you get to do it and it saves the muscle basically. So it relaxes the muscle for a period of time and gets to save it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing how wider and bigger her eyes look now.
Yes, totally. It's the crow's feet that you can see have disappeared there from just around the eye. I know I've got them, look. So I'm definitely going to get one of these done, because it's one of those things that
You're
saves...
always squeezing your eyes.
Yes, I'm always smiling. You see? So these are the frown lines that she got done. And look at the difference. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's arched her eyebrows.
Because everyone always thinks Botox is like lips, fat lips and all that sort of stuff, which is not necessarily. What it does do is it relaxes the muscle, saving it for later. So it's not like it's going to reduce when it goes away. It's going to come back to some kind of other funny shape. It goes back looking awesome.
Absolutely. Those are great results.
Yeah, really cool.
Botox is a non-invasive treatment for both men and women, and within days you'll see an improvement. The entire treatment only takes 30 minutes and you can return to the normal activities immediately after.
It's so cool. Now listen, coming up on the show still on Afternoon Express, I'm very excited. We're exploring all these different subcultures, and perhaps one of the subcultures that we should be exploring, and in fact are going to be doing today, is about the Rastafarian subculture. We're going to be meeting a lady who lives in Khayelitsha, who was realizing that there was no real clothes for her to celebrate and express who she was as an individual, so she created her own label. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Also later on, our mural is going to be revealed right on Afternoon Express. It's being created as we speak, live on national television. We'll see you after this.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us on Afternoon Express live on SABC3. Now, the Rastafarian subculture really receives the limelight, and Rasta woman Lwam Gxalaba from Khayelitsha got frustrated when she struggled to find fashion for females that was fit for Rastafarian culture. So she started her own brand, Mad About Rasta, and it was founded in 2013. And it is now expanding beyond just fashion and moving into the lifestyle space. We're joined now by Lwam. Welcome to the Love.
Thank you for having me.
So pronounce your surname for me with that.
Gxalaba.
Okay, I wasn't sure which click it was. Lovely to have you with us. Tell us about Mad About Rasta.
Okay, Mad About Rasta, it started around 2013, but it was only me. I couldn't find, because I like to keep up with the trends, but keeping up with the trends and then going to buy what is trending and everything else, I couldn't find clothes that were appropriate for me as a Rasta woman. So that's when I started, you know what, I have basics of sewing, like the background my mother taught me when I was growing up, like in the village and everything else. So I started making my own clothes. And then some of the other Rastafarian women, even outside our culture, they started noticing what I was wearing. Where did you get what you were wearing? I was like, no, I made it. So that's how it all started.
Right. And what kind of clothes are specifically fit for Rastafarian women?
Well, you have to be covered up. Not as in you can't even see your face or anything like that, but you just have to be modest. I am a 21st century woman, so I love, as I said, keeping up with the trends, looking good, at the same time being modest is not exposing a lot of skin. So I started making like the high-waist skirt, the pencil skirt, that were fit for me as a Rastafarian woman, and I was like comfortable in that. So I saw like other people, the demand started coming through, and then I started the brand Made About Rasta, because there was a lot of people who started asking me about not just my clothes, my lifestyle as a whole.
Yeah.
So that's where the word Made About Rasta, because you know what I said, you guys are just crazy about me. You're going mad about me. So it was Made About Rasta.
Okay. So how has the brand expanded from just being a fashion brand to a lifestyle brand? What other services have you incorporated?
Okay, since 2013, some of the ladies that I worked with, they started coming back for personal styling services, fashion tips and fashion advice. Like, you know what, I have the dresses that you made for me, but now I want to wear them for a different function, not for the same one that you made for me for. So like, okay, fine, we can put this together with that. You can accessorize with this. You know, this is trending now. You can put that with that. You can get that where you can do that. You can put it together.
Right.
So I started making the brand a lifestyle company instead of just focusing on making clothes. Now I'm offering services like a personal styling, your fashion advice and tips, and I also organize lifestyle events.
Okay.
Yes.
And what happens at your events?
Is those nice red carpet events. The demand was where we are at in Khayelitsha.
Right.
You don't really get some of the events, like if you want your red carpet, red tie, black tie events, you don't really get them from there. So people have got to travel from there and come to the other side of the city. So I wanted to bring closer the services that people see on TV, on social media. I was like, wow, these are nice events, but how do we get access? Because what I found out is a lot of people are aware of what is happening. They do want what is happening. They want to partake in it, but just they don't know where to get it. How do they get in touch and be the part of that?
Absolutely.
So I decided, you know what, let me bring the services closer to them, because there are business people, businessmen, businesswomen in Khayelitsha, but they don't have, some of them, they don't have personal styling. Others, they don't even know what personal branding can do for their businesses.
Absolutely.
So those are the kind of services I decided, you know what, I'm going to bring them to you guys so that you can explore and then you can grow within this.
Yeah. What is it about just Rastafarian ideology that you value so much that you want to share with your clients or even people who are not necessarily Rastafarian through your services and through your clothing?
Self-love, self-respect. You know, it all is, the saying goes, charity begins at home.
Yeah.
You know, you can't learn to love and appreciate someone else if you can't do it for your own self, you know. So self-love, taking good care of your own self and valuing your own self, you know. It has kept me the person that I am, like I can say, the person that I don't think I would be the person that I am today if I wasn't a Rasta woman. So it has kept me grounded, you know. You learn a lot about respect, about your neighbors, how to take care of your neighbors, and just everything, how to live with people within the community, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming to share about your brand with us today.
It was a pleasure.
Such an interesting interview, and I'm so excited by the conversations that are happening online. You're all sharing all your love and comments and questions with us on our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and don't worry, I am reading them all. So the hashtag is Afternoon Express across all of our platforms, and we're asking you, has the local fashion industry taken a front seat in recent years in South Africa? And your options are yes, local fashion is booming, 2, development is still needed. And 3, I'm not sure. And so there's some interesting comments. I'm only going to read the ones that are slightly more controversial. Well, oh, not really controversial, you know what I mean. Zandile Gianni says, yes, our fashion has drastically improved. Only the marketing and promoting still needs to be pumped up. I think we can agree with that too. Lots of designers creating cool work, but who's promoting it? Nandi Nicole says there's still need for improvement. I'd buy more of fashion online internationally because it's on another level, from kiddies all the way through to adults. So perhaps we need to start looking at the way we're digitizing and marketing those. Nayshay says development is still needed there, but they are doing a really good job. And Nonhlanta says, well, there's always room for improvement, so I'm going to go with number 2. Share your thoughts with us on our Facebook page. We're Afternoon Express. Otherwise, hashtag Afternoon Express across all of our social media platforms. Listen, next week's going to be an exciting show and season for us on Afternoon Express. We're going to be having more exciting beauty tips and tricks as we take a look at the new technology along with latest non-invasive medical aesthetics treatments, which will diminish signs of aging, premature scarring, as well as improve overall skin tone. I know we all need that kind of advice. So make sure that you do follow right now Dr. Anushka Reddy on Instagram for the latest updates in aesthetics treatments. That's coming up next week on Afternoon Express. But after the break, we sit down with the guys behind SA's longest standing streetwear brand. It's called Magents. Stay right where you are. Indeed, express yourself. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3 on this Thursday afternoon. We're exploring subcultures, and I'm loving reading all your comments online. Hashtag Afternoon Express across all of our social media platforms. Share your thoughts with us. Express yourself, and you could see your comments on our show. Now, 1992, the year after I was born, was a very different time in South Africa. And while the country was going through a political revolution, on the streets of Joburg, hip-hop culture was growing. Didier, founder and of a small streetwear brand, brand that has grown over the past 25 years. He's grown it into one of the most respected South African labels. It is called Magents. We're joined now by Didier and his business partner, Thei Thei. Welcome to our loft, gents.
What's up, Thank you for being here.
Magents.
How you doing?
Magents. I'm doing so good.
I'm glad you're not saying magnets. Most of the white dudes go magnets.
With conviction
I want to be in, man. I want to be in with the crowd.
Doing well.
So Didier, 1992, big time in South Africa's political history. Lots going on in the country. Revolution was about to come. What was going through your mind deciding, hey, let's produce clothes. It's a good time.
You know what happened in the music industry, maybe 97 mostly, with YFM, all the boys, happened with us earlier. So we saw what's happening and we just sort of expressed what's in our hearts. So that was a natural thing to do. I was in clothing then already. So we just carried on with that, and it was an awesome time.
So was there a vision or a plan, or was it, let's just create something that's uniquely South African and see what happens to it as this country goes into a revolution?
Well, in the beginning it was basically forming a store with different kind of elements in our lifestyle that we like. And all the boys are liking that, so put that into the store. Let's have shoes, let's have this and that. But it grew into a full-on brand. So.
And that's one of the biggest streetwear brands in our country, and I love your stuff. I love seeing it online. I love following what you guys are doing. I love seeing it on the ramps. You're the most spoken about brand that I've seen at the moment with streetwear. And Thei Thei, are you like the muse for a lot of the stuff that's going on? Are you one of those cool kids who's wearing the stuff?
So that's a new one for me, a muse. Well, I mean, obviously, I joined Didi in the brand a couple of years ago, and the brand really spoke to me in its uniqueness and, you know, the consciousness behind it. You know, I mean, when we really design, it's not just really slapping a graphic on a T-shirt. It's really like a thinking process. And we talk about it and what is going on around us and everything. You know, so it's really that a little added something extra and really gives the clothes a little bit more meaning, if I can put it that way.
Yeah, let's explore that meaning for a bit. I mean, what are the meanings for you guys and when you're creating? I mean, some of the phrases that you've put up, I mean, what are those or what is the message you're trying to put out there?
Yeah, we essentially say that people design our clothing because we listen to what they say, you know, and current issues and whatever. So part of the core of our brand is, simply put, ignite the warrior within.
Ignite the warrior within.
The warrior within. So, I mean, a lot of us have that warrior inside, and in some of them, it's not really, it hasn't been ignited. And it takes a few individuals with a different outlook on life, you know, with all the negative, always sees a positive in it, and in it essentially, you know, shares it with someone else and ignites them. So it's always we feel like everything starts from within, so it starts with self. So that's part and parcel of what we're trying to express in our clothing.
It also goes right through to where the fabric, the cotton is made, where the fabric is being made. Who's making your clothes, because a lot of terrible things are going on, especially in Asia. So we took a major decision around about 2009 to only manufacture in Africa. We're almost there 100%, but it's very important to us. So there's another company also, group, Fashion Revolution, that are also pushing this hard all over the world. It's very important. And
yeah, all eyes at the moment are on South Africa, on Africa. I've seen all the runways internationally, locally. Everyone is looking to South Africa for inspiration. And you guys took the leap a while ago to go and travel overseas. In fact, probably your biggest audience was, and your biggest consumer was overseas, which helped you produce the stuff here and try and sell locally here. Right. I mean, would you consider yourselves sellouts in that space of like going overseas to take our products overseas? Or do you feel like that was important for you to be able to create a South African brand that was sustainable?
You know, the problem those days was that the store owners didn't really believe in us, you know, in the new South Africa. So it was hard for us to sell Magents to them. They were always saying, why is it so expensive? Magents is a black brand, and we said it's not a black brand, it's an orange brand. They're like, what do you mean? And so even recently we had online like Superbalist guys, and they were like, you know, they have the same, why is it so expensive? They don't understand that if there's an Italian brand with quality clothing, quality fabrics, quality finishing, I mean, then why can't you have an African brand with the same thing? So it's really, we had to, like Thei said, it starts from within. So we had to really start there and also speak to guys so that it starts with them as well.
Okay, great. You guys had a fashion show happening for us to be able to see this for ourselves. I mean, what are you expecting from that fashion show? What have you guys got planned for us today? What are we going to be seeing? Is it a new range? Is it something that we can just express who you guys are as individuals?
I don't want to say too much, but it's not your conventional guys walking up and down the ramp. So it's going to be extremely interactive, like next level, ultimately very interactive. Yeah, I mean, like, it's just the setup and everything, you know, for more the experience. Okay. You know, just give them something, a surprise.
Something to look forward to. Yeah. Well, I do know there's something to look forward to from our side too, which is very exciting, is that one of the outfits that are going to be coming out on stage on Afternoon Express today has got an entire speech. You know that I am an African speech that was spoken by one of our ex-presidents? That entire speech is written on the outfits. It's something to behold and something not to be missed from Magents. And from Magents to Milady.
We are indeed celebrating Women's Month in South Africa, and it's finally here. And on the 17th of August in Johannesburg, the annual Top Women Awards will bring together an audience of iconic business leaders and personalities to celebrate the success of women and women-led organizations. The event will once again acknowledge the most sustainable and successful gender empowerment strategies of organizations across all sectors in the awards ceremony. Now, to win VIP tickets for you and a friend to this prestigious event, simply SMS the keyword awards, followed by your email address to 33650. SMSs are charged at R1.50 each. No free SMSs apply. T's and C's can be found on the Afternoon Express website. And for more information on this fantastic event, visit www.topwomen.co.za.
Next time on Winner Home on Afternoon Express, our design duos rush to meet their first room deadline.
Everything is going wrong, but we're trying to keep a cool head and hoping that we can pull it all together.
This is such a disaster.
Really? Is it that bad?
The circle's not here. Somebody has to help you.
I can manage this. We've done this before.
Are you chasing me out?
My word. Guys, please, everybody out.
Don't miss Winner Home Fridays on Afternoon Express. The stage is yours.
Oh, that episode is going to be absolutely awesome. Friday is Winner Home on Afternoon Express as we explore design and interior design to be specific. And we are exploring cultures on the show today, particularly those underground cultures. So in that note and on that note, the South African Craft Collective is an initiative supported by the Department of Small Business Development to promote local craft products in the domestic and international market. It's a brand identity that carries the value of excellence in design, reliability in supply and quality production. This year at Decorex Joburg, they will showcase the work of 60 craft enterprises from all over South Africa. Project manager of the initiative, Jolene, and two of the crafters join us this afternoon to give us the ins and outs of this year's Expo. Welcome to our loft, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
So you guys are all creatives, and I always feel very intimidated by creatives because creatives are the most incredible people, always outside of the box and ADD. I feel like I need to give you one of those spinning wheels to be able to have this conversation. Jolene, tell us more about what you guys have got planned for this year at Decorex.
Well, as you mentioned, with the South African Craft Collective, we have 60 enterprises this year. We launched...
It's huge.
We launched the South African Craft Collective at Decorex last year, so this will be the second time, and we'll be exhibiting. 30 of those exhibitors are women, and which is quite apt considering the opening day of Decorex will be International Women's Day.
Oh my word,
yes.
Obviously. So let's expand a bit on that, the importance of that to you as an individual and to the company and the foundation as a whole, because we really need to start celebrating the amazing work the women are doing in this space and really are forefront leaders, and now 50% of those crafters are women.
Yes, well, what you find is we don't only have the small individual businesses, but we also have cooperatives participating on this year's event. And many of those women are breadwinners in their household.
Yeah.
And women play such an integral role you know, in terms of bringing an income into the home.
In fact, it was the biggest debate in my family. My mother was always the breadwinner, my father wasn't. And it was quite an interesting dynamic to see within a family because, you know, I grew up with lots of friends around and always wondering, like, what does your dad do? It's always the big question. But in fact, I was like, my mum makes all the money. My dad is an awesome dad who raised us. So it's an interesting dynamic to see starting to shift. And instead of obviously speaking to you, Jolene, only, I want to speak to some of the crafters because that's why we have you on the loft. Because it's so good coming from the horse's mouth. But from you guys, this has had a huge impact on your journey. So let's first tell us more about your project and introduce what you do and why this has had such an impact on your career.
Okay, well, I mean, my company name is called Champal and I design luxury leather handbags. You know, being part of the South African collective stand has just been phenomenal. I mean, it gives you your brand the credibility as well, the exposure that's given, you know, that's fantastic. And just the size of the actual exhibition, you know, it gives you the exposure that you need, you know, getting to buyers and everything like,
Okay, because obviously you call yourself a small business, but you're doing amazing work in the space already, and it's a lot of hard work that goes into starting a small business. Trust me, I know. And getting these platforms in some ways is a lot of work putting into it. You have to start now actually creating and delivering.
Absolutely.
What do you find in terms of the future of your careers? I mean, does something like this help you boost it to become a growing, sustainable, long-term business?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, the intention I think that any entrepreneur has is to actually build something that's actually sustainable. So, I mean, my intention is not to lay back and you're constantly working. It's 24/7. So you've got to be everywhere and anywhere. So whatever's available, you take the opportunities and like support with the South African Development craft collective, those are the sort of opportunities that you look for, especially with small businesses. Yeah.
And I love following your guys' journeys, honestly, because you are the ones that are innovating where the industry is moving. You're always thinking hard about how am I going to create a product that's going to be sustainable? How am I creating a product that's going to be for the future? So tell us more about your journey, and do you feel like using platforms like this has helped you grow so far?
Oh, absolutely. It's a great platform. The exposure that one gets from it is completely amazing. You can be a crafter and you can be in a little corner, or you get guys like the South African Collective that you get on board, and all of a sudden your brand is exposed, more people know about you, you've got buyers knocking at your door, which is a good...
It's huge. I'm going to be very rude and interrupt you because I haven't actually asked you what you create, so share with us because it's amazing. I want South Africans to know.
Oh, so I make, I've got a company called Olive Handmade Soaps, so we make organic soaps and other body products directly from scratch, so we don't do melted pours, we make it ourselves from locally produced olive oil and other oils.
That's why your skin looks that good. And you are Italian. You're making Italian products, olive oil. That's lovely. So, guys, ladies, it's going to be an absolutely amazing journey going to Decorex. I know there's lots of stuff happening around. You guys are going to capture the attention of South Africans, I'm sure. So, Jolene, good luck to you and your team. I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Sure, continue to celebrate South Africans and particularly females creating amazing products, and go check them out. Yet more inspiring South Africans creating solutions for the future. That's these ladies, and making us proud indeed. But be sure not to miss the South African Craft Collective at Decorex in Johannesburg. It's parked at the beautiful inspiration and clever ideas. It's packed, in fact. I'm reading things called parked. It's packed. It's packed with clever ideas as well as fun interactive installation, as well as amazing food, which is something that always attracts me to anything. Decorex Joburg is the perfect event to attend next weekend with the family. Now, it's not a proper Thursday on Afternoon Express without some live fashion. So after the break, we check out some of the latest designs from streetwear brand Magents.
That must be that Shaka Zulu's hoodie or the sweater.
This is your chance to win the home you've always dreamed of. SA's favorite interior design reality competition, Win a Home, sees 3 design duos transform empty spaces into lavish homes, and one of them could be yours. To enter, visit privateproperty.co.za and vote for your favorite design duo. Put yourself in line to win amazing prizes in the bi-weekly draw and automatically be entered for a chance to win the grand prize, your choice of one of 3 fully furnished designer homes in the Eye of Africa Golf and Residential Estate in the south of Joburg. The finished property will include luxurious finishes by Plascon and Caesarstone, as well as premier home appliances by Grundig, with a total prize value of more than 3 million rand. Competition details plus T's and C's can be found on the private property website. Watch the breathtaking properties come to life as the design drama unfolds and stand a chance to win the biggest prize on South African television, your very own dream home.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, live on SABC3. Win a home. I can't believe it. We're going to give away like a home worth more than 3 million rand.
Yeah,
Making
I get so
millionaire.
excited during Win a Home season.
It's insane.
And I've always got FOMO because I wish I could enter.
I know, me too.
Right?
It's nepotism. No. Listen, on the show today, we've had so much fun exploring subcultures. We started off by exploring graffiti, and our artist has been busy working. Juliet has been working very hard on our wall that side. So you guys can take a look at what's been done so far. And then something very interesting is going to be happening right now on the show as we explore fashion as a subculture, and particularly street culture, with the boys from Magents.
Absolutely. I really enjoy how your brand has evolved. We recently had a Reason on the show, and he was wearing one of your outfits, and that's a performance you guys are going to get to see soon.
How do you guys get to choose your your ambassadors, like, or your people that represent your brand? Jay something's there too.
Well, we choose not to use the term ambassador because it almost sounds like you gotta,
pay the person.
So we rather like to
not pay the people.
Yes, Bonnie. Yes, Bonnie.
So we choose to call them fam, and we really build our relationship on a loyalty basis. Like if they want to rock the clothes, like they'll rock it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, in the past we had like guys like Squatter Cam wearing it, and they'd come to the store and buy it for themselves for their video shoots and everything. So that's our relationship, our ambassadorship.
Okay, I see. It's the guys who love the country so much that you really want to start exploring relationships, but then when it seems symbiotic, it seems like it makes sense. Right, enough talk. Should we start looking at some of the stuff that you guys have created?
Let's DJ,
let's have a look. So talk us through this range that you've got here. Leftmost stuff.
Oh, the leftmost. So we got it's a polyester jacket there. We got a Shaka Zulu on the front graphic there. So we're celebrating Zulu culture, but not necessarily them alone, but we're celebrating the idea behind Zulu culture.
We have all different culture, but this jacket alone is a Zulu culture.
Yeah. And then that is accentuated by the pants. That's our own camel design there. And then we got the Magents logo running on the leg there, and we got some destroying effect with an inset of like a red coming through there, just to pick up the garment a bit. Try and go a little bit of the extra mile when we're designing. And then if you look at his sneakers as well, so the sneakers for us, the most important thing is the actual underneath. So if the model can just lift his foot underneath.
Show us your foot,
so that's the African content that we got under there. So yeah, that's a part of our celebration of Africa, baby.
Good balancing act there, dude. Well done. Nice leg work there.
Who got next?
Nice yoga moves.
Let's move on to our next model, which happens to be the females.
Yeah, well, we have on the right, we have that warrior element, so that's our ladies' version of the warrior element. We found that a lot of, especially the celebs, the girls really ask for that. They really love that top. That's 380 nice, heavy cotton, and again, the cotton is grown in Africa, the fabric is made in Africa, and it's made by Africans. So we always say, honor the process, honor the hands.
Okay, and then the last gentleman on the side there, let's have a look at what he's got going on.
So we call that a warrior coat. That's a warrior coat. So you see it's on that samurai tip, So again, we got some toweling. We call that toweling on the sleeve.
Embroidery on the side.
Embroidery on the sleeve. And then his pants, sweatpants, we say it's got like a 3D effect because we really play with like the panels there. So you see it's almost like depth of field that we got going there.
Different kinds of fabric mix as well, make it very comfy.
So and
I really like the green. Is that the speech that's written on the garments?
Yeah, we were the first to put African on a t-shirt in the 90s. So those days were a very strange thing to do. And it was based on Thabo
quite
Mbeki's...
groundbreaking.
Yeah, it was Thabo Mbeki's speech also really inspired us big time. So the whole speech is written on there. We just spell Africa with a K because we say C is for colonization, baby.
Oh, wow.
But if you look on the 10 Rand notes as well, the Africa is spelled in the vernac with the K. If you
Yes,
look, whip out your 20 Rand note, whatever, it's actually written with the K.
I will be Africa. With
Okay.
It's amazing. Honestly, it's so cool to see that
Do you have a
got
particular
messages,
name
yeah.
for this range? Have you grouped it into a particular classification?
This is the winter collection.
It's just it's your winter collection.
This is the winter collection,
Right.
my James winter collection, a Conscious Warrior collection. So
Yeah.
That's really true. What is kind of the stuff retail for? I mean, is it affordable?
how shallow, how deep are your pockets?
Ask him how much he pays for his clothing now. What's he paying right now?
I'm just going to quickly...
But it's so cool to see that you guys are making more feminine silhouettes. For a while I was beefing with you because I was like, it's just hoodies and t-shirts for the girls. So it's really good to see.
Also
what
coming
you've done.
back, to South Africa, we had to really focus on the South African ladies.
Well, we're going to salute you, gents, for what you've created. Magents, for what you're doing for the South African industry. Really, really appreciate the hard work that you guys have been put into this stuff. It looks absolutely amazing. And I feel like we should probably go across there just to celebrate it, because our mural's basically done. Want to come with that? Let's have a look. So you guys have done amazing work with this stuff. It's looking cool. These models can now take a little bit of a chill pull. I'm going to say hi to you guys, because I feel like you've been standing like that for so long. Nice to see you all. Nice to see you guys.
Cool, nice balancing act there.
So Juliette, our mural is basically done.
Almost done. I've got another layer to go, but essentially,
I'm going to step out the way then. You
by
can
the
carry
end
on.
of it, it's going to look something like this.
Oh,
amazing!
That's
is that a little
the
Jack
dog.
Russell?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's a celebration of Jack Russells.
Totally.
We
Lots of
love Jack
energy.
Russell! Absolutely.
And they're naughty, so we like that.
Okay. We're going to let you finish off the final touches on that. And it's so cool to be able to explore these street cultures. I mean, just from your guys' perspective and where street culture is moving towards in South Africa, how much attention should we put on it, Didi?
Yes, absolutely everything. That's where it's happening. That's where culture is shaped at the moment.
The streets are talking.
Yeah.
If you must know it,
And in terms of like graffiti art and what we're seeing from people trying to take this sort of expression to the streets, are you seeing that a lot more in what you guys are doing? And can maybe young artists come collaborate with you guys and create some cool stuff that they're seeing happening on the street?
Definitely. That's how we started, in the 90s, painting our logo and stuff all over Soweto and Cape Town, Durban and so on,
Yeah. And do you feel like street style has a specific tone in the South African context or African context?
It's not
compared to the rest of the world?
Look, for one, I'd say that street style, they're non-conformists. Like, they just do what they want. They
It's an
tell what
energy.
they
And
want.
also
It's
our own
like,
fabrics and patterns are coming in, like Sweshwe is not really African, it's really German. So we also developed our own, like this pattern over here is our own pattern to make it fully African. So that, that authentic stuff. And
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much to all our models for joining us today and to all our guests. You've
Thank
been
you
awesome.
so much.
What a great show celebrating the street cultures and particularly subcultures. I'd love for you guys, if you're maybe one of those people who are producing something, just maybe sketching in your classrooms or perhaps at home or making something of your own, whether it be fabrics, maybe it's street art, take a photo of it, send it to us on Twitter, #Afternoon Express. Let's keep the conversation happening across all of our platforms, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thank you so much, Juliette, for all of our artwork. This lives forever.
I hope so.
We hope so too.
Thank you so much for joining us at home. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Enjoy your evening.
Our show does not last forever. It must end. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night, everybody, and enjoy celebrating local. We love you. Mwah.
Search for a home on any device, anytime, anywhere. Private property, a home for everyone.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.